Greetings and thank you for joining us. You are welcome to Recap right here on the TheNewsGod. I'm Nelson Kofi, bringing you the top stories from the weekend. Here are the headlines. Minority commits to constructive engagements as Mahama government presents Maiden budget. Driver arrested for hit and run that killed two former Achimota students, family confirms. Savannah College of Education integrated into Ghana's public tertiary system. Bole Chief Imam bans extravagant weddings to uphold Islamic traditions. Former President Nana Akufo-Addo defends JB Danquah's legacy and calls for end to name-calling. On to our first story. The minority in Parliament has pledged constructive engagement as President John Mahama's administration presents its inaugural economic policy and budget on Tuesday, March 11, 2025. This presentation aims to translate campaign promises into actionable policies. Ranking member on the Economic and Development Committee, Kojo Opong Nkrumah, emphasized Parliament's role in scrutinizing financial commitments to ensure effective implementation. He noted that the NDC government made 273 economic promises before the last election, with the upcoming budget outlining the first batch of these commitments for the year. The minority intends to critically assess the feasibility of these commitments, drawing on past experiences and constituent input. While pledging support for policies that address national challenges, the minority cautioned against governance driven by rhetoric, urging a focus on substantive economic solutions. In other news, the driver involved in the fatal hit-and-run that claimed the lives of two former Achimota school students, Davida Asante Boateng and Lillian Akoli, has been apprehended as confirmed by the victims' families. The tragic incident occurred on March 7, 2025, around 11:30 p.m. along the Achimota Highway. The two young women, both members of the Old Achimotan Association's 2024 cohort and students at the University of Professional Studies, Accra UPSA, were returning from the school's annual bonfire celebration when they were struck by a black Toyota Corolla while crossing the highway. The driver failed to stop, leaving bystanders to rush the victims to the hospital. Despite medical efforts, Davida was pronounced dead at 4 a.m. on March 8th, and Lillian succumbed to her injuries later that morning. The Old Achimotan Association has expressed deep condolences and pledged support to the bereaved families. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, has officially integrated the Savannah College of Education into Ghana's public college system. This transition, announced on March 7, 2025, follows a comprehensive review confirming the institution's compliance with all necessary criteria for public status. This development highlights the government's commitment to enhancing access to quality teacher education nationwide. As a public institution, the college will now benefit from state-funded infrastructure, faculty development, and curriculum enhancements, thereby improving the quality of teacher training. Additionally, this move aims to promote equity by directing resources to strengthen teacher education in underserved regions. The ministry commended GTEC, traditional authorities, and the college's management for their roles in facilitating this transition. Away from that, the chief imam of Bole, Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu, has prohibited extravagant wedding ceremonies within the Bole traditional area to uphold Islamic traditions and alleviate financial burdens on families. This directive aims to curtail the rising trend of lavish weddings that often lead to significant debt, contradicting Islamic principles advocating modesty. The chief imam emphasized that marriage should be a sacred union, not overshadowed by ostentation. He called upon the Muslim community to adhere strictly to this directive, ensuring that the wedding ceremonies remain simple and within the means of the families involved. Community leaders and clerics have been tasked with enforcing this ban to preserve cultural and religious values. On the other hand, former President Nana Akufo-Addo has called for an end to derogatory remarks against the late Dr. Joseph JB Danquah, emphasizing his significant contributions to Ghana's political development. Speaking at the 60th anniversary remembrance service at the Ebenezer Presbyterian Church in Chebi on 9th March 2025, ex-President Akufo-Addo launched a compendium of 60 commemorative statements honoring Danquah's legacy. He highlighted Danquah's persistent advocacy for the rule of law as fundamental to liberty and individual freedom, now central to Ghanaian politics. Akufo-Addo lamented that despite Danquah's immense contributions, his name continues to be embroiled in needless controversy. The event also featured remarks from Efutu MP Alexander Apenyo-Markin and Asajifo Amwetia Ofori-Penyin, both urging Ghanaians to honor Danquah's sacrifices and reject divisive narratives. That brings us to the end of this edition of Recap. You can visit www.ghana.thenewsgod.com for more updates on the latest developments. I am Nelson Kofi. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and have a great week.